See you.
Boss,
Go
about
back
the
in.
sniper you extracted. Quiet. We set up a cell for her on the medical platform.
Medical
The
platform.
medical team is looking into her abilities. I'll let you know if they learn anything. And
Said I had.
boss, leave Miller to me. If we manage to get some intel out of Quiet, that should satisfy him.
Yeah, okay. Anything new? Secure the R thing. I could do these. I could do these over here too. Do the blueprint. Nice. What are new resources? It never really tells me. It's just, oh, you apparently have a new resource. Is it? I think it's just plants. Yeah, just plants. Mm-hmm. Can I build? What is that? Shot shells, powerful shells. I don't really. I prefer the Riot SMG. It has more ammo. This I'll put into because I'm hunting wildlife and it takes a lot to take down a bear and stuff. Is this her sniper that she used? I'm pretty sure it is. I want to say it is. Upgrade night sight. I don't really use this much. Screw it, sure. I could just do a few of the trials and stuff around here. There isn't a trial or anything to do here. Platform. Okay. No diamonds or anything. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not sure if you noticed, but if you like strangled him and people in certain areas, they'll tell you like the locations of diamonds. The only place I haven't covered was the R&D platform because that place is a fucking maze. That place is a maze to me. And I love how it's like command platform where I'm trying to upgrade the platform. When I first thought of upgrading it, I thought I was going to upgrade this area, but no, it's just going to put more platforms around the area instead of just upgrading that, which looks like it needs more construction. Stupid, but whatever. I didn't make the damn game. There's like some huge bonus if I do. What is up with this under area?
Boss, promise you'll never let go.
Yes. I can promise that. Eventually.
Spit it out.
You know where diamonds are? Huh. That's nice. Nice information. Thank you. These guys also tell you like other information and stuff. Now, where do I... Okay, I go up to here, then I go to the R&D platform. Gotcha. The third deck. Did I get all the diamonds over here?
Boss, I need combat support.
Speak.
Pretty quiet when you... Is that a pun? Because we have somebody named Quiet? Even though it chuckled, it's still not funny.
Speak.
Night vision goggles. Huh. I did notice that. don't really need to know that, really.
Spit it out.
Okay. No problem. I should do that. I never really use my cigars. Am I going the right direction? No, I'm not. Wait a minute. Where am I? Okay. I could just take this car over here. No, don't get in front of my car. I mean, truck. Whatever this thing is. I was thinking of probably doing racing games and stuff in the future, but man, racing games get kind of boring for me after a while of playing them. Even though they are interested, and I am kind of a bit of a car person. I vaguely know about cars, but it's like, they're interesting to me, cool to look at, nice to hear the engine purr. I guess I could listen to a few audio logs. How many audio? 25. Damn. Guess I could listen to these.
You were hospitalized in Micgelo, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus.
Or I was hospitalized.
British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain. Why Micgelo? The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto. Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy? Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you
Crap.
dead.
I was trying to, like, back up
Lieutenant
and
was in
then...
British military
Okay, hold on a
hospital.
second. I almost got
The
this.
doctor had a Greek accent. They
I'm not trying to go... I'm not trying to go in. I'm trying to go out.
Micgelo is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all. What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the south. Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in '74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN established. And Micgelo sits right on top of it. It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around. So how do things stand? Now, last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state. Though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece, Turkey, Britain, America. They all have their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like death, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames, and then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different.
Interesting.
You're up.
Oh, okay.
We're
I thought
changing
it was
ships.
off.
We can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler. The Suez Canal. When did they reopen it? Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines after the Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand? We're gonna transfer to a container ship or passage through the Suez. Our destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south. There we disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road. And then continue on horseback. Afghanistan's main roads are under Soviet control. We'll need to go around them. It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains. We'll do better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recons. Then they charge down the mountains for ambushes. The Soviets still haven't devised a counter-strategy. Our time frame is only half as much as we really need. It'll be a tough march. Better horses than boats. Well, it'll make for good physiotherapy. Take the time to get used to that new arm.
Interesting.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes, the United States is increasingly demonstrating the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparations, and in fact this is retaliation for the Western nations' boycott of the previous Moscow Olympics. That concludes today's news.
That's quite some news. The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics? Yeah. Andropov's dad has changed some things. They're calling it revenge for the Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics. Countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics? Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries were absent. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. When the 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago, détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II, and Reagan's hardline politics won him the presidency in a landslide. According to him, the Soviet Union's an evil empire. The Second Cold War. And there's been no end to regional conflicts and civil wars. Lebanon, the Falklands, Grenada, Iran, Iraq. The story never changes. Egypt and Israel did sign a peace treaty. But then the driving force on the Egyptian side, President Sadat, was assassinated afterward. Apparently his actions were considered a betrayal of his fellow Arabs. Islamic extremists? Yes. Fundamentalist extremists have been responsible for some bold acts of terrorism in recent years. We've had extremist students in Iran take U.S. embassy workers hostage, and suicide bombings in Lebanon. Over 300 foreign soldiers stationed there have been killed. Countries have yet to develop an effective means of dealing with terrorism. Afraid of losing their own men, they pulled their forces out, handing private forces a golden opportunity. Private forces? Small armies with no national affiliation, working for the highest bidder. That's right, they got the idea from you. After Mother Base went down, they began spreading to meet the soaring demand. Miller's organization is just one of many PFs now. The entire world is after you. But at the same time, it needs you too.
Oh.
Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You'd formed a private army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation. I remember, but I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused by the coma. It's still all a mess, huh? All I can do is tell you the facts as they were told to me. I've gone easy on you up until now, but this is where the hard stuff begins. 1974, the year before you entered your coma. You were in Colombia, operating with a small unit of men, basically mercenaries. Miller was among them. Miller was trying to find a way to turn his and your talents into a line of work. He was looking
Am I playing the same audio log I already played?
On behalf of others around the world, those who needed military force.
No.
But the reality was, at that time, you didn't have enough gear to equip your own men. Then Miller came across this client. It was a huge job he was offering, but you had a shot at pulling it off. You accepted it and headed into Costa Rica. The client even threw in an offshore facility in the Caribbean. The Mother Base, that would be your new base of operations. Miller sure did have a head for business. As your mission went on, your unit grew and grew. More weapons, more money. Before you knew it, you were commanding 300 men. As the organization
Told me
got
of the
bigger,
past
your
stuff of what
military
happened
powers
in
swelled to
Metal
match.
Gear.
It got so the international community couldn't afford to ignore you. You were just too damn successful for your own good. You, your men, had worn out your welcome. Everyone was out for you. East, West, First World, Third. It was only a matter of time before someone took you down. And that was XOF. Officially, they're an anti-terror unit under the CIA. In reality, they're Cypher's private strike force. They lured you to Cuba using Chico, the Nicaraguan revolutionary kid, and Paz, a mole who worked for Cypher as bait. While you were gone, XOF, posing as a nuclear inspection team, stormed Mother Base. At the same time, C4 they placed on the strut legs went off. The whole thing went down in minutes. XOF. Kisses and hugs followed by a big F you. All because of Miller's blind spot. A back door into Mother Base no one suspected. You remember a certain scientist. Huey was responsible
I
for
don't
bringing
remember
the
that
inspection
scientist.
team on board, giving the enemy a perfect opportunity to hit you at home. You were returning from Cuba when it happened.
I haven't played previous Metal Gear games.
Taking you with it into the Caribbean. Those of your men out on assignment returned right away. They refused to believe the wreckage in the water they found was Mother Base. But they checked the coordinates again and again, until reality finally settled in. You were supposed to die that day. That was XOF's primary objective. As far as most folks know, you did. The first doctor to see you wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Before they'd even finished operating, your men moved you to that hospital in Cyprus. There was a woman named Eva who arranged that.
Eva. Sounds familiar.
Well, most men in your condition would have been written off right from the start. But you survived. You went straight down to hell, and they pulled you out. Your eye wide open. Full of venom. The days of naked Snake are long gone. Welcome back, Venom Snake. This world still needs you. Here, Snake, try this on. A prosthetic arm. Yeah, Miller was calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going well. Your arm's bulked up enough for it to fit. There. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think? I can still feel my real arm. Well, you better get used to this one quick. You have any pain? Every now and then. Where? My fingertips. My left fingertips. Sounds like phantom pain. Your brain still remembers your old hand. Yeah. What about your vision? Can you see okay? Yeah, at the moment. Now, the shrapnel in your skull is pressing on your optic nerve. I'm told any hard impact could have an effect on your visual cortex. Yeah, the doctor mentioned that. Your brain might process visual information incorrectly. In other words, you could have hallucinations. You might see things that aren't there, and not see things as they really are.
Really?
You experience any of that? I think so. When? Right after I wake up. Colors look faded. Colors, huh? Well, that's not a major concern in and of itself, but it could mean the difference between life and death in the field. You'll need to watch out for that. I will. All right. You should continue your physio. We'll be arriving soon. It's the last chance you'll get.
Two left. Or at least I think two left. Any other guards I could talk to? Quote unquote talk to. Oh, that's just him. How many diamonds did I pick up exactly? How do I get in there? Is there like some way to get in there nobody knows about? Yeah, like... Oh wait, the lower level. I forgot about the, this other area. I'll get to that in a second. Down these stairs. Here we are. Is there like a dungeon or somewhere I can go to? No way inside. Guess not. It's on this side. Okay. Wait a minute. There we go. Ah!
What's
nope.
up, boss?
Hey! Did we talk?
Talk.
Oh, you almost... oh, you got scared for a second. Like, it almost froze on me.
Thanks for that, boss.
Don't. Get out of the corner. Is that all of the diamonds? It doesn't like tell you how many you get. Just how many you collect. I mean, just like how many you get after it's been extracted somehow, even though I didn't go to an extraction thing. 78. I don't know if I should upgrade my pistol. I kind of like the riot shield, not the riot shield, the riot SMG. At the same, I'm not sure which suppressor is the best, because either way, they all burn out too quickly on me when I'm using them. Get another audio log.
Kaz, what about the unit that attacked us in the mist? You knew something about them. That wasn't my first run.
How do I get down?
It happened right before I was captured by the Soviets. We were on the zero line that day, the Afghan side. On our way back from training the Mujahideen at a mountain camp in Kunar province.
So way down.
There's a lot of that work in Afghanistan. Most PFs shy away from it because it draws too much attention. But for us, that was the whole point. The job itself went great. We just had to make it back to a tribal area in Pakistan. But all of a sudden, visibility got real bad. It was no sandstorm.
Yeah, I'm not doing this trial area again. It's too complicated. I really don't want to go through the frustration.
He went silent. We scrambled into formation right before his arms and legs came raining down on us. It was always supposed to be a dangerous mission, so I had Diamond Dog's very best with me. We were calling out to each other, but one by one, their voices just went dead. Whatever happened to me, I lost consciousness before I knew it. When I came to, I was in a Soviet camp, tied to an interrogation chair. Could they be some new Spetsnaz unit? No. The ones that interrogated me were just the average rank and file. Whatever group attacked us, the way they moved was just insane. And that mist, appearing out of nowhere. The Soviets don't have tech like that. If they did, Ocelot would have heard about it. I doubt the West does either. Otherwise, the folks at Langley would be sleeping a lot easier. Why'd they come after you?
Check this area first.
I'm the only one who survived.
Check out that medical area later. I'm kind of just going around.
If I was their target, they wouldn't have just handed me over to the 40th Army. Whatever the case, we need to watch our step until we know who they really are. And boss, if you ever do run into them again, don't try to take them on. You just get the hell out of there. When I first started dealing with Zero, with Cypher, it was a somewhat parasitic relationship. Though, a mutually beneficial one. Cypher had no army of their own, so they wanted us. They wanted our strength. They approached me as a potential business partner, but they had other motives. Cypher coaxed us into Central
Wait,
America.
is that? I think that's the guy I rescued that's supposed to be an engineer.
To fuel Mother Base's growth. Once we were
That's
big
supposed to
enough,
help me
they'd
out with
force
my
us to join
hand.
them. That was the plan. That's why they had Paz, still Zeke. Right. And if we refused, she would use Zeke to fire a nuke from Mother Base. The world would consider us a liability, and countries would unite to destroy us. We stopped the launch. And yet they still took us down. Through that fake inspection they orchestrated to cover up their sabotage. That power Cypher wanted. We don't have it anymore. So why are they still after you?
But
Is it just the fear of leaving you alive? I don't know. Was Zero really... All I know is the man I knew wouldn't want this. What do you mean? We have to consider that it might not be Zero we're dealing with. We know virtually nothing about Cypher anymore. How big they've gotten, what they want, or even who they really are. The new Mother Base started out as a test drilling rig operated by a mineral resources supplier, but their project fell through. The Seychelles government was happy to hand the place over to us. It was just scrap on stilts. So with a few dummy construction companies set up as fronts, we started renovating the half-finished rig. From the outside, it looked like the project was back on rails. Kaz, you... What? I see what you're doing. Recreating the Mother Base we had 9 years ago. Only this
Really?
time. That's right. The mother base Cypher thought they destroyed will return from the grave to kill them. We'll prove to the world that we were the victors.
And if we lose again?
They can't fool us the same way twice. Now our enemies are in plain sight. And when our organization gets too big, we split it across companies. Any company that draws attention gets liquidated, and its capital is back-channeled into a new company. Most PFs are small-time operations.
Wish I could like salute back.
In this business, the minnows go bankrupt all the time. We've never aroused suspicion. Plus, we have Hewick.
Hewick?
Human Exploitation Company. It's a business specializing in intel gathering. Think of it as a civilian intelligence agency.
That's...
Remember what they were trying to accomplish at the prison facility in Cuba? That gave me the idea. We dispatch moles into conflict zones around the world, and each sets up an intel network on site. Then they stay in place to give us stable points of
Yeah, I'll
contact
just stop
when other
this for a
nations
second.
intervene in the conflicts. Hewick's strength is that it has a cutout at each...
Boss, that puppy you saved, he's family now.
Okay. Should I snipe or... I should practice my sniping. If I can snipe. Okay. Thought I wasn't able to use this. You guys might want to get out of the way. Even though this is a tranquilized dart, you still might want to get out of the way. Doesn't miss. Should have been a miss. Okay. Not a lot of ammo for tranquilizer rounds. No regular rounds. I guess I could go to the intel base. I'm not sure what's faster, going by plane, going by helicopter, or going by car, because by car it just feels faster to me. I don't know. Going by helicopter, yeah, he doesn't just go to the where you want to go. He just goes straight. He just goes under and over the bridges, going in this direction I'm currently driving in, and then he goes to the and then he basically does the same thing on the bridge going towards where I want to go. So it's kind of frustrating when it's like you can't just go straight over there.
You get your job from one guy, then you hand it off to another. No one has direct access. It's a perfect black box. Hewick members also work their way into the superpowers intelligence agencies to make sure Diamond Dogs gets work. We have those countries by the balls. That's our deterrent when we need it.
Networking? In the intelligence community?
Sure, that's how we've grown this far. And when you go out on missions, intel from Hewick will be there to back you up. But despite all that, Cypher has its eyes on us.
The only reason I'm not dead is that they needed to know where you were. Figured if you woke up, I'd go straight to you.
That's why you made that ruckus at the zero line.
Yeah, to make their own surveillance work against them. I think it took some of the heat off Cyprus.
Kaz.
Then I just had to wait for you to save me. And I've gotten used to waiting.
Kaz.
That's not all. It was a good chance to scout the market.
Kept you waiting, didn't I?
With the West wanting the Soviets out of Afghanistan, their agencies are bursting at the seams with funding. Boss, let's start by building up our Afghan presence.
Why put Mother Base in the Seychelles?
We're at the center of the world here.
We're all the way out in the Indian Ocean.
Come on. Lebanon, Sri Lanka, East Timor, and Africa. From here, our reach extends to conflict zones the world over, including Afghanistan, of course.
So it's prime real estate for a mercenary.
Exactly. Latin America isn't as close as I'd like, but we have Amanda and her people to help in that department.
Interesting.
And besides, the Seychelles government owes us a favor.
Owes us?
The Seychelles has strong ties to the East, which the West wanted to shake up. It came to a head 3 years ago in an attempted coup. It was a force of South African mercenaries with U.S. backing behind the scenes. They were only platoon size, but South Africa is home to some heavy PFs. Too much for the Seychelles to handle. In the end, they accepted help from the Tanzanian army and quelled the coup. We set up the deal and handled on-site tactical instruction. That led to some training work for the Seychelles military.
Oh yeah, I got all
We
the
put down
diamonds
a
in this
mutiny
area.
within their forces.
Yep.
Well, we made a lot of people happy. They don't pay us. They just let us have a piece of their offshore territory.
Rain washed
on
off the
promise
blood
we'll
on my
come
scarf.
running if something else happens.
Interesting.
So we're bodyguards, too.
It's a good setup. We can only take Mother Base so far here. We'll have to find somewhere else when this place starts getting big.
Aren't you being a little hasty?
Nothing hasty about
Get
it.
up from here.
You're back with us now.
So, Kaz, the ship that took us from Cyprus, it used to be a whaler.
Yeah, a Japanese vessel. How was the voyage?
It was stimulating.
Well, she was part of a whaling fleet up until a few years ago. Her displacement isn't anything to write home about, but she can really move.
Wait, that's the way I
Still
came
had
up.
plenty of
Oh,
life
there's
left in
ladder.
her, but then the work dried up. Global opposition to whaling has been mounting for years.
Is that right?
The push to ban it has been gaining traction for a little over a decade. Individual species came under protection as the years went on. And then 2 years ago, the IWC adopted a moratorium on commercial whaling. Several countries, including Japan, fought it to the bitter end. But eventually, most whaling companies had no choice but to throw in the towel. You ever tried whale snake?
Can't say that I have.
I keep forgetting I got all the diamonds in this area.
Practically everybody ate it.
That good, huh?
The country was
That'd be
poor
good
in those
option.
days, and whale was cheap. International opinions changed since then. In any case, that's why we were able to get a bargain price on the ship. Of course, we did end up spending 5 times the purchase price in modifications. We had to really work to fit in all the ESM and communications gear while keeping the whaler look intact. Right now, she's going around conducting SIGINT missions. In the future, we plan to use her as a communications
That's all of
relay
them
base
down
between you
here.
and Mother
Oh,
Base.
wait.
And also as
Yep.
a chopper resupply vessel. Diamond dogs. The word diamond originally comes from the Greek adamas. It means
Really?
indomitable, unyielding. Other words for the stones often mean eternal bond, fortitude, or purity. The same is true of the Star of Bethlehem flowers you laid on the boss's grave. They represent innocence, as well as chastity, yielding to no man while maintaining one's virtue. In other words, staying loyal to something.
No others down here.
Boss, we really need some more room.
My GMP. Yeah. There is one more. Two more. actually. Where is this other? Where's the other two? I like sonar as a target, so I'll be really lazy. I would not care. Where the fuck is the other target? It's weird. Went all the way. Something?
Whatever supplies you need, just let us know.
Huh.
I hope you keep that woman locked up, boss.
It's weird. But I got a ball. Or of course I'd be dumb and it's right in my face. Weird. Should've got all of them. Oh, there they are. I see them. Let me just snipe these. Next area, the development. Sure.
Boss, will you train with me?
Wish I could, but for some reason it's not giving me like an option or side quest not to be able to. Didn't really. Okay. It just made it drop in more intense than it really was. I could sell these mortars for a mounted gun than a mortar. Interesting. Oh, I get stuff for listening to the audio logs. That's nice.
Ocelot said the number of private forces is increasing, and they've modeled themselves after us.
They're a far cry from the likes of us.
But why? 9 years ago, we made enemies of the world as a nuclear-equipped force, independent of ideology or state.
Yes. Sooner or later, the real UN would have stepped in.
So why are they giving these PFs free reign?
That's our fault, too.
What do you mean?
What happened 9 years ago was a real problem for a lot of people. An organization as big as ours, with our facilities, was wiped off the map. Not an easy thing to hide. But if our existence came to light, so would the names of our clients. We had contracts all over, east and west, from superpowers to banana republics.
Oh, excuse me a sec, I'll be right back. I just realized this video is going on a bit too long. I'll just go and make the, let this upload, part upload, and go to the next one. Those of you who are watching, just wait a sec, I'll just make a new, stream.
Turned a blind eye to what happened to us, despite still needing people who could do our jobs. History couldn't afford to lose us. As soon as we were gone,